Your top stories this evening sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. Livable income for all, says Dr. David Hines. APNU lays out anti-poverty strategy during elections campaign launch. APNU assures Guyanese that restorative justice will come should it win the seat of government as the party launches its political campaign. Government prepared to dish out another US $50,000 monthly to US lobbying firm, and unity and cooperation needed to secure region's future as CARICOM celebrates its 52nd anniversary. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Travis Chase with the Monday, July 7th edition of the HGP Nightly News. Here's what you need to know this evening. The Square of the Revolution was a sea of green on Sunday when the Partnership for National Unity officially launched its 2025 political campaign ahead of the September polls. Presidential candidate Aubrey Norton, in rolling out holistic plans for a new Guyana if elected to office, also pointed out that the electorate is tired of the incumbent government. Antonio Day opens our broadcast with this story.
In his address to thousands gathered at the Square of the Revolution for the official launch of the Partnership for National Unity political campaign, presidential candidate Aubrey Norton urged supporters consisting of predominantly young people to think about their future holistically before voting on September 1. Mr. Norton, recapping the myriad of injustices which occurred and continues to occur under the current regime, pledged that restorative justice will be a priority once in office come September 2nd.
Every child knows that this is now the most corrupt country in the world. Whenever you say Irfan and Parrot, you say Jagabat and corruption. We have got to ensure we root corruption out of this country.
Norton, also leader of the People's National Congress Reform, spoke to the alleged mismanagement of the oil and gas industry and revenues by the incumbent regime. He said many Guyanese to date are not benefiting from the nation's oil wealth, and this will come to an end under his leadership.
It is our patrimony, and every Guyanese must share in it. And we commit to sharing the wealth of this country with you, the people of Guyana.
Prime Ministerial candidate Director of Finance then laid out the APNU's people-centered development strategy.
The APNU coalition government will make sure that public servants are paid 35% salary increase. The APNU coalition will increase the income tax threshold to $400,000 a month.
Finance, the former Shadow Minister for Finance in the Alliance for Change, also announced that every young person pursuing post-secondary education will receive $50,000 every month to cover basic needs. It was highlighted that old age pension will be increased to $100,000 monthly. Every child from birth to 18 years of age will receive $120,000 yearly to support their needs, were also among benefits Guyanese will receive under an APNU government. Also in attendance were Psycho Andrews, attorneys at law Dexter Todd, Ronald Daniels, and Roysdale Ford, along with Eden Corbin, Onyx Duncan, and Vanessa Thomas, all young faces showing their support behind an APNU government.
Now we have the flags in the air for Aubrey. Won't give thanks for life. Next year we doing it again. And next year we be happy birthday, my friend. President Norton.
Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Meanwhile, a part of the Partnership for National Unity's anti-poverty strategy was laid down Sunday night at the Square of the Revolution. Leader of the Working People's Alliance, Dr. David Hines, made it clear that Guyanese will be remembered and that the money from oil will go directly to them. Here is more. In a fiery speech at the launch of the Partnership for National Unity campaign at the Square of the Revolution Sunday night, Working People's Alliance co-leader Dr. David Hines hammered home the point that should the APNU be elected into office after the September 1 general and regional elections, one of the coalition's anti-poverty strategy would be to negotiate acceptable wages and salaries with trade unions.
Once we take power, all the workers of this country, we will sit down with your unions and we will bargain with your unions and ensure that every worker gets a living wage in this country.
Banking on figures that Guyana is expected to produce about 1.5 million barrels of oil per day by 2029 and earn as much as US $10 billion yearly, Dr. Hines promised that the wealth of the nation will go directly to the people of Guyana under an APNU government.
We will ensure that the oil wealth, a percentage of it comes directly to you all. Not a $100,000 freck.
The political scientist said laws will be enacted to ensure that every single Guyanese benefit from the country's resources, regardless of size, composition, economic circumstance, or location.
We will go to Parliament and we will put it in law that a percentage of the oil money will go to every Guyanese. As you all know, the party to which I belong, from as early as 2018, said that by 2025, each Guyanese could be and will be, every family will be entitled to $1 million Guyanese.
Dr. Hines also appealed to the thousands that gathered at the Square of the Revolution not to split or waste their vote come September 1 and to vote solidly for APNU to make the coalition's promises a reality. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. With just days to go before nomination day, the Alliance for Change is calling for clarity from the Guyana Elections Commission on key election procedures. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
With nomination day set for Monday, July 14, Alliance for Change AFC Chairman David Patterson said the party's preparations are well underway. He noted that several regions have already completed their processes. However, Patterson raised concerns about the Ghana Elections Commission, GCOM, stating that the AFC has dispatched a letter to the Commission seeking clarity on several public statements, one of which relates to the deadline for submissions of joinder list. According to him, GCOM indicated that the final day for joinders is July 21, approximately 45 days before the general and regional elections, whereas the law states that the deadline is 25 days prior to elections.
Why are they even contemplating a deviation from the law?
Patterson further stated that the party has asked GCOM to clarify the procedures for submitting party lists on nomination day, July 14. He expressed concern that this information is likely to be known only to the PPPC and not other political parties contesting the elections.
It's quite strange the PPP has been boasting that they would win by a landslide, and yet they need GCOM to boost them in every single area.
While Patterson maintained that the AFC is fully prepared for the elections, he questioned GCOM's readiness. He noted that the party also sought clarity on the status of the joiner list, especially since nearly a year has passed since a statement was made by GCOM's former legal officer. To date, he said, GCOM has yet to officially declare its position on the matter.
While we are personally working to meet their import deadlines, they unfortunately are not being as forthright as they should be.
Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Stay with us. You're watching the HGP Nightly News. Welcome back to the HGP Nightly News. Residents along the east coast of Demerara now have greater access to critical healthcare services with the commissioning of the $6.6 billion and more regional hospital.
Residents on the east coast of Demerara will now be able to access critical healthcare services, including specialized care such as dialysis and a wide range of diagnostic tests, with the official commissioning of the $6.6 billion and more regional hospital. President Irfanani, speaking at the opening of the state-of-the-art facility, said the hospital will eliminate the need for costly and time-consuming travel to Georgetown by bringing high-quality healthcare directly to residents. The new facility will offer services including gynecology, audiology, dentistry, ophthalmology, psychological support, neonatal care, and general medicine, many of which were previously unavailable in the region.
This hospital is part of a larger vision, a vision of a Guyana where every child, every mother, every elder, every patient, regardless of their income or their address, has access to high quality, modern, responsive, and people-centered health care.
He noted that the government is ushering in a new era of people-centered health care that is accessible to all.
Guyana will emerge as a regional leader in smart care health services. Through a bold and forward-thinking health agenda, the country is rapidly integrating digital technology into public health infrastructure.
Meanwhile, Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony said the hospital marks a significant milestone in Guyana's healthcare development and is a symbol of national progress and improved quality of life for families.
For generations, the people on the East Coast, the residents had to journey to Georgetown to get their surgeries. And if they needed a simple thing like an X-ray, many of them had to go to the Georgetown Hospital to get that X-ray. If they wanted to do a CT scan, you had to go to the Georgetown Hospital to get that CT scan. And very often it depends on the types of laboratory services that you need. You had to also go to Georgetown to get those types of laboratory services. All of that you would now be able to get at this new hospital.
The Enmore Regional Hospital includes a 24/7 emergency unit, dental and eye care services, and 75 inpatient beds in air-conditioned private rooms. It houses 2 advanced operating theaters and is equipped with dialysis, CT and X-ray machines, ultrasound imaging, and a full-service laboratory for faster test results. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
The Guyana government is prepared to dish out more money for a United States lobbying firm. The country's sitting vice president says he hopes the contract would be renewed. Here's more. The contract between the United States lobbying firm Continental Strategy, LLC, and the People's Progressive Party Civic ended in May of 2025. Now, it is clear that the Irfan Ali-led government is once again prepared to dish out another tranche of US $50,000 monthly to renew the contract for the lobbying firm. Last Thursday, Vice President Barra Jagdeo told the news conference that he hopes that the Guyana government would renew the contract with Continental Strategy if it is not already done so.
I don't know, but I hope they have renewed it. I hope that it is renewed. I don't know personally, but I hope that they continue it.
Part of the duties of the lobbying firm was to supply the Guyana government with reports on what it has done. Since the lobbying firm has boldly declared that presidential hopeful Azruddin Mohammed is an agent of the Maduro-led regime, Mr. Jagdeo was asked what evidence his government has, perhaps in any of those reports, to suggest that Azruddin Mohammed is indeed an agent of Maduro.
Given their vast network in the United States of America, can create that link, and if a congressman has now added his name to a tweet, trust me, there is a connection.
The businessman and presidential candidate and his political party have since accused the government of using taxpayers' money and the resources of the state to launch a political fight against him, using specific U.S. congressional officials through the lobby firm.
The connection might be through the illegal export of Venezuelan gold. That's all I'm going to say on the matter.
According to the Foreign Agents Registration Act, FARA, certain agents of foreign principals who are engaged in political activities or other activities specified under the statute are to make periodic public disclosure of their relationship with the foreign principal, as well as activities, receipts, and disbursements in support of those activities. The stated duties of the lobbying firm in the contract signed on the 13th of December 2024 between Continental Strategy and the government of Guyana, as per the FARA filings, are increase U.S. trade and investment, help the government address financial sector improvements and other necessary steps, and enhance Guyana's profile in the United States. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. You're watching the HGP Nightly News. Stay with us. There is more news ahead. Welcome back to the HGP Nightly News. Senior journalist attached to Capital News, Ivor Wharton, has been elected president of the Guyana Press Association, while Ariana Gordon was elected vice president after the ballots were counted at the Guyana Press Association elections on Sunday at the Theatre Guild Playhouse. News source Svetlana Marshall was elected treasurer, while Samantha Allen Williams of Stabroek News is the assistant treasurer. Other elected committee members are news sources Gordon Mosley, News in Depth Royston Drakes, former Stabroek News Miranda LaRose, and Kaitsure News' Sharon Belgrave. Kurt Campbell of the Newsroom and Bibi Bacchus of Safe TV News have been co-opted to the executive. Congratulations to the new executive. As the Caribbean Community CARICOM marked its 52nd anniversary, leaders have underscored the centrality of unity and cooperation to further secure the region's future. Antonio Day will tell you more.
Observing the Caribbean Community's 52nd anniversary, Jamaica's Prime Minister and Chair of the Community CARICOM, Andrew Holness, reminded that the CARICOM integration movement symbolizes a diverse group of nations with a unique Caribbean identity, sharing one ambition for a sustainable and prosperous future. In addressing the opening of the 49th Heads of Government meeting in Jamaica Friday last, Prime Minister Holness said, despite many challenges facing the community, there must be a united front to confront these challenges.
We must think strategically, act collaboratively, and remain focused on the values and interests that unite us. Many of the threats which we face, which as small countries we grapple with, and oftentimes as leaders, as we contemplate these challenges and we look at our size relative to the rest of the world, it can be daunting.
He noted, though, that CARICOM countries continues to stand as a testament to what can be achieved when differences are transcended for the common good. Meanwhile, Secretary General of CARICOM, Dr. Carla Barnett, in applauding CARICOM's achievement as the oldest surviving integration movement, among developing countries stressed to regional leaders that the single market and economy, through a powerful mechanism for growth, continues to face its fair share of challenges.
The CARICOM single market and economy, which is designed to facilitate the free movement of goods, services, financing, and people in the interest of increased economic and market efficiency, continues to fall behind expectations. We hope that this meeting will see a recommitment to strengthening the implementation of the CSME with a view to ensuring that all aspects of the regimes can be evenly and effectively implemented across the region.
Dr. Barnett said, as we mark this anniversary, a beacon of regional integration and cooperation has grown to include 15 member states and 6 associate members. The contributions made by citizens, particularly the efforts of our young people to development and integration, were also acknowledged. She said such support plays a vital part of our efforts to build a community for all one that is inclusive, protects the vulnerable, and where every citizen is in every territory in the Caribbean and the community, regardless of race, religion, or language, it's taken into account. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned, your regional news is up next.
Good evening, and welcome to Monday's edition of the Regional News, and happy CARICOM Day to all. We begin with some news in Haiti. Caribbean community leaders on Sunday continue to express concerns at the deteriorating political, economic, and security situation in Haiti, which also belongs to the 15-member state, or regional integration grouping. Haiti has been in chaos since President Jovenel Moïse was assassinated on July 7, 2021. Since then, armed gangs have taken control of nearly all of Port-au-Prince and are attempting to overthrow the provisional government. The United Nations reported that thousands, including women and children, have been killed or forced to flee their homes as gangs intensify efforts to oust the government, despite the Kenya-led multinational security support mission. Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley told the opening ceremony that over the course of this last 6 months, one of the region's major concerns was the stability of Haiti. She said Haiti is trying as best as it can to be able to withstand the assault by gangs is to be commended, but at the same time, it is not enough. The Barbados Prime Minister said she fears the absence of that realistic conversation will continue to mean that ordinary citizens will have to put their lives at risk, and if not their lives, their limbs, and if not their lives and limbs, their ability to live as dignified human beings. Now with some news from Surinam. Jennifer Geerling Simmons on Sunday became the first woman to be elected president of Surinam. Lawmakers back a doctor and former parliamentary speaker over a month after voters in Surinam elected a new government on May 25. The 71-year-old's path to presidency cleared when the outgoing president, Chandrika Prasad Santoki's Progressive Reform Party, chose not to nominate candidates. Simmons of the National Democratic Party and Gregory Ruslan from the National Party of Surinam secured support from 34 National Assembly members, the exact number needed for election in the first round. The General Liberation and Development Party also backed their ticket. Surinam is celebrating its 50th independence anniversary, marking the first time a woman has been elected president. No female vice presidents have served, although 2 women have held the position of National Assembly Speaker. In an emotional speech to the National Assembly, outgoing President Santoki said, and I quote, "Power is temporary, glamour is fleeting, but service to the people is eternal." End of quote. He congratulated Geerlings, Simmons, and Vice President Ruslan, and also wished the incoming cabinet strength and wisdom. And internationally, at least 81 people have been confirmed dead and another 41 are missing following flash floods in central Texas. Most of the fatalities were in Kerr County, where a Riverside Christian girls' camp was overwhelmed, claiming the lives of a number of children and leaving others missing. Other areas to record deaths include Travis County, Burnett County, Williamson County, Kendall County, and Tom Green County. Figures are changing quickly as rescuers continue to search for the missing, and officials say that the death toll is certain to continue rising. Many of the bodies are yet to be formally identified. The expected continuation of severe weather could hamper rescue teams who are already facing venomous snakes as they sift through mud and debris. 3 days after the inundation, one of the largest search and rescue efforts in recent Texas history was shifting towards a recovery operation. Texas Governor Greg Abbott on Sunday said authorities would, quote-unquote, stop at nothing to ensure every missing person was found. Thank you for watching. I'm Antonio Day, and goodbye for now.
APNU assures Guyanese that restorative justice will come should it win the seat of government as the party launches its political campaign. Livable income for all, says Dr. Hines. APNU lays out anti-poverty strategy during campaign launch. Government prepared to dish out another US $50,000 monthly to US lobbying firm, and unity and cooperation needed to secure the region's future as CARICOM celebrates its 52nd anniversary. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I am Travis Chase. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.